basically, you know, I think the big thing that we can all sort of focus on are issues of economic class, right? The economy is obviously the big driver these days. It's pushing a lot of people out of work, and even the people who do have work are, you know, what they sometimes call underemployed, right? I assume all of you are close to or sympathetic to that position, right?
Yes. Yeah. The real unemployment rate, right?
There you go, the real unemployment rate. So, but we have to look, you know, even though we have a good turnout here, we have to consider the fact that we still need to do what? We need to expand, right? We have the majority on our side in theory. We say it, right? Yep. Yeah. But we need to make sure we actually get the majority on our side, right? We need to do things in such a way that people feel like they want to join us, right? So we have to kind of conduct ourselves in such a way that working people, the working class, whatever that is, we have to define it, right? I mean, who is the working class? You know, it's not like it is 100 years ago. It's not like it's factories, right? The service sector is the working class. People think of manufacturing as the working class. Manufacturing jobs are 10 million jobs. The service sector is 115 million jobs. 10 times bigger. You know, so we have to think about things like this in terms of who is our base? Who can we recruit? How do we expand? You know, are stockbrokers going to be part of the base? Probably not, right? You might get some nutty, eccentric stockbroker. There's always going to be exceptions, right? You know, there's probably the stockbroker in the back. Like, I'm with you. I hate all my friends. It's revenge for that guy. Who knows? But, like, you get the idea, right? So when we build, we can do it slowly. We don't have to do this, you know, overnight, right? We have time on our side. We have the ability to go out and think in such a way that allows us to expand, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. Good. Well, that's my opening speech. I think I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the next thing we'd like to do is start hearing from as many of you as possible. Would you guys like to break into groups for this?
No.
Raise your hand if you'd like to do groups. No? All right. All right. Hold on.
All right. The people in Miami, basically what they did is they broke up into groups of 10. The thing about groups of 10 is it makes it a little more manageable to have your discussion, right? When you have a lot of different people, it's a big crowd, right? And everybody's shouting and things like that. There's nothing wrong with it if people want to do it. If you want to just have this forum continue and just kind of rotate up onto the soapbox or equivalent of whatever I'm standing on. What's that? Right, and yeah, a time limit, and we'll put a time limit on, but the group thing, you know, is another option. So,
what's the main goal? What's the main goal that you want?
For everybody to meet each other and to kind of socialize and hear each other's basic stories, you know?
Yeah, but you're talking about when you're talking to, you have to market what you want.
Talk about the Declaration of Occupation.
Yeah.
The Declaration of Occupation?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is the manifesto for they put out a couple.
So this is part of the reason we're here.
Kind of discuss local politics.
The Declaration of Occupation. From Occupy Wall Street. I'd really like to open the floor to all of you, so I'm going to skip the preamble and talk about the basic tenets. They have taken our houses. Through an illegal foreclosure process. Despite not having the original mortgage. They have taken bailouts from taxpayers with impunity. And continue to give executives exorbitant bonuses. They have perpetuated inequality and discrimination in the workplace based on age, the color of one's skin, sex, gender identity, and sexual orientation. They have poisoned the food supply through negligence. And undermined the farming system through monopolization. They have profited off of the torture. Confinement. And cruel treatment of countless animals and actively hide these practices. Sorry, that was a long one. They have continuously sought to strip employees of the right to negotiate. For better pay and safer working conditions. They have held students hostage. With tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Which is itself a human right. They have consistently outsourced labor. And use that outsourcing as leverage. To cut workers' health care and pay. They have influenced the courts. To achieve the same rights as people. With none of the culpability. Or responsibility. They have spent millions of dollars. On legal teams. That look for ways to get them out of contracts. In regards to health insurance. They have sold our privacy as a commodity. They have used the military and police. To prevent freedom of the press. They have deliberately declined to recall faulty products. Endangering lives in pursuit of profit. So that's some of the basic tenets. That those on Wall Street are protesting against. We also have to keep in mind. We're not here because of a political leaning. We're here because a rotten system is affecting us all in different ways. So that's why right now it's about growing. It's about coming out here next time. 200 more people.
With 200 more people.
And the next time with 1,000 more people.
And the next time with 1,000 more people.
So that is why. That is why. Right now. We want to hear why all of you, how, as many of you as possible. I'll repeat that one. We want to hear how as many of you as possible. Have been affected. By this rotten system. So I think general consensus. Let's open it up.
Okay.
So general consensus. We're going to open it up. Raise your hand, and we'll just. It's going to be arbitrary. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Just one suggestion. You really want to be able to speak easier. There's a lot more room on that side. Inside, there's also a stairwell that you can stand up easier on. Okay. Yeah. It's just I don't want people destroying things.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Just go around the corner.
There's a bigger area. Walk around this way.
Yeah, right around. Where the stairs go. You can stand on.
All right. We're going to move this party.
Thank you.
That way.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
That was a nice one.
Hold on. Did everyone hear that?
Everyone hear that? We're walking to a better sound area.
Mic check. We're walking to a better area. check.
Mic check.
Would anyone like to volunteer
Would anyone like to volunteer
as a timekeeper?
as a timekeeper?
Caitlin?
Kayla,
Kayla? Oh, I'm sorry.
no problem.
Even though you're taping, you got it.
That's why I have the time.
Okay.